Jack Doherty, a name that once popped up on your feed with harmless flips and goofy pranks, has now become synonymous with chaos, clout chasing, and controversy. If you've been on YouTube, TikTok, or honestly anywhere on the internet in the past few years, you've probably seen his face, either doing something insane or something incredibly dumb. He started out as that energetic kid doing backflips in Walmart, someone you'd laugh at, not take seriously. But who could have predicted that this same kid would grow up to become one of the most reckless and controversial figures in influencer culture? And not just controversial, this guy is reckless to a level that's actually dangerous. At this point, Jack Doherty isn't just chasing clout, he's married to it. He will do literally anything for views. He's monetized. Let's just say adult content. But I won't say the full term because we're trying to keep this YouTube safe. He regularly starts public arguments, provokes strangers just for a reaction, and worst of all, he literally crashed his own car on purpose and turned it into content. Let that settle in for a second. He crashed a moving vehicle, filmed it all, edited it, uploaded it, and slapped a clickbait title on it like it was just another Tuesday. And he brushed it off like it was just a prank, bro. But this wasn't a prank. This could have seriously injured him, his passenger, or some random person on the street. And all for what? A few more clicks. But that's Jack in a nutshell. No stunt is too dangerous, no line is too far, and no sense of consequence exists when there's a thumbnail to be made. Sure, he's made big money. He's flexed houses, cars, and bags full of cash. But now, the numbers are falling. The views, dropping. The reputation, in shambles. His career is spiraling faster than the car he turned into a punchline. It's like watching a flaming private jet nosedive straight into reality, and reality is not a forgiving place. Even his girlfriend McKinley dumped him. Though, let's be honest, that relationship was never exactly a fairy tale either. You knew who Jack was, a cocky, clout-hungry guy willing to exploit anything for attention, and you stayed anyway. It wasn't love, it was business. A power couple built on shock value, simps, and shallow fame. Jack gave her the audience, she gave him engagement bait. They made videos together that fed the algorithm, but left everyone else wondering how low they go for another million views. Half the thumbnails were just her face and Jack being loud. It wasn't content, it was content strategy. And it worked until it didn't. So buckle up because this story isn't just about Jack being a train wreck. It's about what happens when someone builds a career on shock, clout, and chaos, and then runs out of both. What you're about to see is a masterclass in delusion, ego, and secondhand embarrassment. Try not to cringe too hard. Let's roll it. Let's rewind for a second. Back to where this all started. Jack wasn't always a reckless clout goblin. At the beginning, he was just a hyperactive kid trying to go viral. His early videos were gymnastic flips, silly dares, and public stunts that were, for the most part, harmless. He'd run into Walmart, do a backflip off a table, and dip. Cringe? Maybe. Dangerous? Not really. And honestly, it worked. People loved it. Jack built a brand on energy, mischief, and the illusion of youth rebellion. He became the poster child of suburban parkour gone wild. But the problem with building a career on adrenaline is that the audience gets bored. Fast. The same tricks that wowed viewers a year ago barely get a shrug today. And when you're addicted to the algorithm, you start doing anything to feed it. That's when things shifted. Jack started upping the ante, hard. He started interrupting strangers, filming hostile encounters, baiting security guards, and escalating stunts that were clearly walking the line between content and criminal. And the worst part? It kept working. Each time he poked the bear, the algorithm rewarded him. Until one day, the bear bit back. Let's talk about the car crash. Jack literally drove a car with his friend inside, into a fence, full speed, cameras rolling, music blasting, laughing like it was just another YouTube short. And when people called him out for being reckless, he doubled down, called the critics haters, said it was just for views, as if that somehow made it okay. But here's what Jack doesn't understand. There's a line between risk and recklessness, between edgy and idiotic, between content and consequences. You want to crash your own car for views? Fine. But what happens when some 15-year-old fan decides to do the same thing to go viral on TikTok? What happens when the copycats start copying? What happens when someone actually dies? This isn't just about Jack being stupid. It's about the ripple effect of influencer culture. When chaos becomes currency, someone always ends up paying the bill. And that brings us to the bigger issue, Jack's influence. It's one thing to be a reckless clown on your own time, but when you've got millions of followers, most of them young, impressionable, and terminally online, your actions don't stay yours. They multiply. They set a precedent. Jack isn't just some fringe weirdo with a GoPro. He's a major creator, whether we like it or not. And when Jack treats real-world danger like it's a game, guess what happens? His audience starts thinking real life is just one big sandbox too. We're talking about kids who see him crashing cars, baiting fights, and flexing cash like it's GTA in real life. And they think, yeah, I want to be like that. This is how you get a generation of wannabe influencers who think going viral is more important than staying alive. It's how you get prank channels that end in police calls, emergency rooms, or worse. Jack isn't just a symptom. He's part of the disease. But even Jack couldn't outrun the backlash forever. Because recently, the numbers started falling. The views aren't hitting like they used to. The comments are turning on him. His own fan base is split. Some still defend him blindly, but others, they're waking up. They're starting to realize that the whole chaos for clicks formula is running dry. And that's the thing about being an internet provocateur. You're only popular as long as you're usefully controversial. Once people stop laughing and start cringing, the fall is fast. The girlfriend's gone. The trust is gone. Even some of his collaborators are distancing themselves. And Jack? He's still trying to play it cool, still flexing, still acting like he's unbothered. But if you look close, you can see it. The desperation, the cracks, the fear that maybe, just maybe, the spotlight's about to go dark. Now let's talk about McKinley Richardson, Jack's ex-girlfriend, co-star, and chaos magnet in her own right. Their relationship was never exactly number goals. It was more like a TikTok-era business deal disguised as love. From the very beginning, it looked like Jack saw McKinley not as a partner, but as content. She was in the thumbnails, in the clickbait titles, in the drama. Whether they were pretending to break up, making out on stream, or staging fights for views, it was always performative. It was never private. It was always profit. And to be fair, McKinley played the game too. She leaned into the clout, built her own following, and even got her own share of simps in the comments. But eventually, it started to fall apart. Some say she left because she was tired of the chaos. Others say she left because the views were slipping. But let's be honest, it was never real love. It was exposure therapy for your For You page. And once the breakup happened, things got messier than ever. Jack started firing shots online, implying betrayal, making vague threats, acting like the victim. But bro, you were making her do content she clearly didn't want to do. You dragged her into a world of pranks, public embarrassment, and borderline harassment, and then got mad when she dipped. That's not heartbreak. That's control slipping away. And McKinley, she didn't exactly take the high road either. She posted cryptic messages, played into the drama, and started capitalizing on her new single status. It wasn't just a breakup. It was a spin-off series. You know what this was? A parasocial soap opera. Two influencers pretending to be in love while monetizing every second of the breakup. And their fans, caught in the middle, arguing in comment sections, choosing sides, and turning personal dysfunction into viral content. But the worst part? Even after everything, after the fights, the drama, the chaos, they both keep going, still posting, still baiting, still acting like this is normal. It's not. It's a slow-motion train wreck. And we're all watching, and now we hit the phase that every controversial YouTuber eventually arrives at, the beef era. When the views dip, when the content starts feeling stale, and when the main character energy begins to fade, there's only one move left in the influencer playbook: start drama. Pick fights, name names, stir the pot, and hope the algorithm notices. And Jack? Oh, he went full throttle. He's picked fights with random strangers in malls, influencers bigger than him, influencers smaller than him. Doesn't matter. If you breathe near his clout, you're a target. And he does it with the same energy every time. Loud, obnoxious, overconfident, and always ready to hit record. You'll see clips of him shoving cameras in people's faces, calling them out on live streams, or pulling up with his crew for stage confrontations. It's not real beef, it's content cosplay. Manufactured chaos to keep his name trending. But here's the problem. When you build your entire identity around conflict, eventually people stop caring about why you're fighting and just get tired of the noise. Worse still, Jack's apologies when they come are as fake as the drama that caused them. You know the type. Sitting in a luxury apartment, hoodie on, sad music in the background, saying sorry without ever admitting to anything real. It's not I take full responsibility. It's if I offended anyone. It's not I messed up. It's I was going through a lot. It's not remorse, it's rebranding. Jack treats apologies like another content format, not an act of contrition, but an attempt to reset the narrative. And every time the fans are expected to forget. But people aren't forgetting. They're starting to catch on. They've seen this cycle play out too many times. Drama, views, apology, repeat. And with each repetition, it loses its effect. The shock fades. The empathy dries up. At some point, the audience stops giving second chances, and Jack is running out of them. So what happens when the drama doesn't hit like it used to? When the views dry up? When the audience tunes out? When even the algorithm stops playing along? That's where Jack Doherty is now, in no man's land, caught between trying to stay relevant and refusing to evolve. And you can see the desperation leaking through every upload. The thumbnails are getting more extreme. The titles are more unhinged. The stunts, riskier and dumber. It's like watching someone throw everything at the wall, hoping something sticks. But all that sticks is embarrassment. Even his own fans are turning on him. Scroll through the comments and you'll see it. This isn't funny anymore. Bro fell off. He used to be entertaining. Now it's just sad. And they're right. What used to be wild and entertaining has become repetitive, desperate, and borderline pathetic. It's not entertaining watching someone self-destruct. It's just uncomfortable. You want a brutal truth? Jack's biggest enemy isn't the haters. It's not McKinley. It's not the algorithm. It's himself. He never adapted, never matured, never figured out how to turn that viral energy into something sustainable. He just kept doubling down on the same formula. Chaos, clout, controversy, and now the formula's expired. People want more, and Jack has nothing left to give but reruns of his own downfall. He had the audience. He had the momentum. He had the chance to grow. But instead of evolving, he crashed a car. Instead of self-reflecting, he picked a fight. Instead of moving forward, he pressed replay. And now, he's a cautionary tale, a viral king who flew too close to the ring light. So where does that leave Jack Doherty? Sitting on a pile of past views, burnt bridges, and a fan base that's slowly realizing the Emperor never had content. Just chaos. He's not the rebel he thinks he is. He's not a misunderstood genius. He's a loud guy with a camera and no off switch. A one-man circus spinning the same 3 tricks over and over until even the clowns start walking out. At one point, Jack had everything. Money, audience, viral momentum, even a girlfriend who was willing to ride the chaos train. And he torched it. Not because of haters, not because of cancel culture, because he couldn't stop being Jack. He needed to be the loudest in the room, the most extreme, the most viral. But sometimes when you scream long enough, people stop listening. And that's what's happening now. The views are down. The clout is fading. The stunts are stale. And Jack? He's still in denial, pretending this is just another phase. But here's the thing, Jack. You can't prank your way out of irrelevance. You can't crash your career and call it content. And eventually, no one's going to be around to hit like. So if you're watching this, Jack, and let's be real, you probably are, maybe it's time to log out, touch grass, and for once, don't film it. Because the only thing more embarrassing than your downfall is the fact you're still uploading it in 4K. Thanks for watching another deep dive here on MrStream, where we expose the chaos, one influencer meltdown at a time. If you enjoyed this roast of Jack Doherty's digital disaster, hit that like button harder than Jack hits his gas pedal for views. Subscribe for more unfiltered internet commentary and drop your thoughts below. Is Jack done, or is there still a second act? And hey, if you're thinking about filming yourself doing something dumb for views, maybe just don't. This has been MrStream, where clout goes to die.